Hi everyone, this is Killshot from 99 Gaming. This is The Walking Dead Season 10, Episode 7, early complete spoiler. You guys can probably tell by the tone that this did not play out quite the way many people thought. So I will tell you, we're going to talk about this over the next couple days. I'm not excited about it, but we're going to go through the Q&A. The spoilers are brought to you by Spoiling Dad's fan page. I don't take any credit for those. They did come out a little bit early, so over the next couple days we are going to be discussing this. It's extremely sad. So hold tight. I will probably be doing a therapy session, and I think once I get into the story, you're going to understand. Many of you were kind of on to bits and pieces of this. I don't know that anybody got it 100%, but certainly we've done multiple streams about whether Alpha was involved, if Alpha Dante was a whisperer. And there's been this kind of troubling picture from last season. And as you look at it, and this is something we've talked about for about a week or so, I think I did a video October 25th that said, did Alpha send Dante? So I can confirm that is what happened. Let me explain to you how it all goes down. Here's the Q&A from Spoiling Dad's fan page, so stick with me. First question is, they ask when Sadiq is really in trauma and hallucinations, do they see the beheadings? And there are some of the shots, but here's the way it goes down. Sadiq, there's blood splatters. Sadiq is being forced to watch. Alpha moves in to decapitate DJ. So several of you did say, we have talked about this, right? Was Sadiq a traitor or was Sadiq forced to watch? The answer is he was forced to watch. So he did lie about that in his speech back. But it gets a little bit more tricky, everybody. So the question is, Dante kills Sadiq. How does it go down? So Sadiq has one of his breakdowns. He jumps in the water. You guys saw the water scene. Rosita does jump in after him, and they have a conversation. This is where Rosita pushes him to tell her what's been bothering him. So we were on this, right? Rosita is going to end up crying about what's going on. So they do have this chat. Sadiq says, he opens up to her and says he was forced to watch everything, and he did nothing to help them. He starts talking about the common denominator, why everybody's sick. Guess what, everybody? It is the water. So at this point, he's like, it's the water. He goes to the water system, switches it from drinkable to undrinkable. And then we get to the next scene. This is where it gets crazy. So after that, he realizes, he goes back, it's nighttime. He's looking out the window. Dante comes up behind him. And Dante's giving him another pep talk. Hey, bro, you can do this. You can do this. So there's a bunch of motivational stuff. And then he says something. This is where it's going to get very interesting. He says he's been pulling his weight with the water while Eugene is gone. So it does look like Dante was on it. I know many of you have said that. And then he does this. He clicks his tongue. Now, you guys had talked about Sadiq seeing Coco and her mouth. Well, Dante has this nervous tick. He has this habit, and he clicks his tongue. Sadiq has another flashback, and then when he has the flashback, he realizes that it was Dante who was forcing him to watch these beheadings, and during that, he was clicking his tongue. So Dante makes the mistake of this nervous tick. He had also done it. And then Dante was the whisperer that was forcing him to watch. Sadiq realizes it, turns around. There's a few seconds where he looks like he's looking for something to attack. Dante realizes that he's on to him. Dante overpowers him, chokes him, and says, I didn't want this, not you, not like this. And he tells him to close his eyes. Sadiq is motionless. I got to tell you guys, I read that several times, and it just blows me away, gives me it devastates me that Sadiq, and look, it's our job to really come out and discuss it. And whether Sadiq was a traitor, whether Sadiq was forced to watch, it's a very dark chapter that Sadiq was not only tortured, he was tortured by Dante, and even still, the person that I hate scenes in movies and television when someone has control over another person and they actually win. And Dante actually kills him. So he's tortured him, he's punished him, and now he kills him. Completely devastating. When people see this Sunday night, It's going to be we have not had a stream like this in a long time. It's going to be very disturbing. So just want you guys to start to prepare for that. I'm going to go through a few more things that go down. So the question is, do others find out it was Dante? It happens at the very end of the episode. So we are going to go through the whole episode, a lot of conversations, a lot of stories. So it happens at the end, so no one else knows as of yet. So it does appear that Daryl scene punching will probably be next week. So the question is, does anyone know why Lydia doesn't recognize Dante, but she recognizes other people? There's no information on that. Maybe he's a fairly new whisperer, or we don't know. So it doesn't go into that story. What happens with the illness breakout in Alexandria? Does it get worse? Does Dante have anything to do with it? So they say there's no specific information on this, but people do seem to be getting worse, and it's very much, Sadiq is trying to deal with it. Also, no specific involvement. It says no specific involvement on Dante's part, but I do think Dante is in on the plan, and I'll tell you guys why in a couple minutes. We get through a couple more of these spoilers. What information do Carol and Daryl get out of the Whisperer they capture? So a big part of this week's episode is the captured Whisperer. So the Whisperer does say that all the Whisperers think Alpha killed Lydia, and he tells them they will never betray Alpha because she sacrificed her own daughter. So she uses this Lydia story about killing her to get more power with the group. Almost like, well, look, if I can sacrifice my own daughter, then you guys need to stay loyal. So more on that. The Whisperer does kind of mock them. Apparently he says, you fight for what? Sandwiches? So there's a neat scene on that in a minute. There's a promo picture that has Carol with stuff all over her face. Carol's trying to kill him with kindness, so she actually makes a bread and jam sandwich. He puts the whole thing in his mouth, starts crying, and then spits it back out on Carol's face. So there's the sandwich conversation. Carol tries to give him a sandwich, and then he spits it back on her face. There's also a promo with Carol with a bloody hand. And did she punch the Whisperer? She also has her wedding ring on. So after the jam incident, they decide to resort to violence. Carol puts Ezekiel's wedding ring on and starts punching the Whisperer again and again, but he doesn't give any information. All right. The episode is super good, but we got more. And I'm going to go into some other information that looks like it's set up nicely beyond the spoilers. So what's going on with Gamma and Aaron? So first, they're having friendly conversation. Aaron is having small talk with Gamma. This really bothers me, and it's going to bother you guys in a little bit as well. So Gamma asks about, Aaron shows her, offers her some bread, shows her a drawing his daughter made. Gamma asks if there are any more children. So, clearly a callback to her sister's child. Aaron tells her that he knows she's trying to get intel, and maybe he should do it. But instead of trying to get intel from each other, why don't they just talk about normal things? Kind of like Eugene and Stephanie, right? So he starts talking about stuff, and Gamma basically just kind of leaves in the middle of what he's doing. Just rolls out. She doesn't want to hear any more of it. We'll talk about that more in a minute. What boundaries is Carol pushing with Daryl? So this is interesting. So after hearing that the Whisperers think Lydia's dead, Carol wants to get Lydia to show up in front of the Whisperer to say, hey, she's not dead. This is very, very interesting. Real neat twist with this. They have an argument. Daryl says, no, she's been through enough. But Carol and Lydia have a talk on the balcony. Carol asks Lydia about the Whisperer they captured. She talks a little bit about her mother can twist people. So Lydia basically says, this is what you should do. Kill them with kindness. If you show them a way of life and he gets back in there and they like it, then that can be kind of like a cancer to them, and it could be something that Alpha couldn't control. So really neat story going on with that. So why are Lydia and Carol out there by themselves? Does Daryl, anyone else know what they're doing? So the Whisperer they captured dies. This is cool. Apparently because of an herb that was wrongly administered by Dante. This looks, so check this out. So Dante and Sadiq get in an argument prior to the death, and Dante says, well, it's your fault because you gave me You gave me one that was labeled X, which is for healing, and the other one is for Y, which is deadly. And so here's what happened. Dante knew, this is not in the spoiler, but I'm going to push this further. So Dante knew that the captured Whisperer was going to talk, and Dante gave him a drug that killed him. So if he has that power, think about the things that Dante can be doing. We got a couple super chats. I saw Tom Bug Ferreira says, what'd you miss? Tom, you've missed a lot, because this episode is going to be straight legit. Amy Ferreira, super chat, says, Carol's taking advantage of friendship with Daryl and betraying trust. Amy, I think to a degree, she's taking advantage of it, but she's also very desperate to get an answer and to get an answer very, very quickly. So Dante, look, Dante is sadistic as hell. He forced Sadiq to watch. He kills Sadiq at the end of this episode, and when there's a Whisperer that could potentially talk, he gives them a drug that kills him so he can't give them any information. The timing of that is very, very bad because Carol is going to be bringing Lydia back to show to the Whisperer, and Dante has killed the Whisperer beforehand. So crazy, crazy stuff there. Now let's get back to Gamma. Gamma goes back to talk to Aaron again. This time, not the small talk. She has a change of attitude and holds him at knife point because she wants to get real information. That's when Carol and Lydia show up. So Gamma is shocked by the sight of Lydia. She takes off crying hysterically. But it gets even worse. How could this get even worse? Lydia realizes that Carol just used her. So now Lydia runs off. This is crazy, crazy. Will, I'm going to give a recap in a couple minutes because this is happening fast. There's a lot of everybody tricking everybody to get what they want. Lydia says to Carol, you're just like her. Will says he's confused. Hold tight, Will, hold tight. We're going to make it all make sense. Cheryl and Tuck, oh my God, I've missed a lot too. You guys got to watch the playback on this. Here's the good news. We're going to do a 9:30 stream tonight as well. So we're going to go even more in depth and break this down for a lot more people. But I want to give you guys the overview real quick and let it sink in. So Daryl doesn't know about this. Some random questions. Is Alexandria the only community shown in this? Yes, it is. No daddy Daryl scenes with Lydia, and for the ladies out there, anything interesting, apparently Daryl's walking around topless, cuddling with his dog. Rosita also have a lot of dialogue about parenting, and does anyone else die? The Whisperer, Cheryl dies, Gamma kills a walker, and Sadiq. So some big deaths there. All right, let me give you guys a real quick overview. Okay, so the episode starts pretty much with the Sadiq flashback. Sadiq's getting bits and pieces, and then we see he doesn't participate, but someone is telling him to open his eyes. Keep your eyes open and watch this. Look, it's not that he passed out. It's don't hide from this. You will watch this. And then they do the tongue click. Well, that's big news at the end of the episode. So Sadiq is having these memories, these PTSD, hallucination. He jumps in the water. Rosita goes to save him. They have the conversation. He opens up and tells her all of this stuff. Sadiq finally figures out that the water is what's poisoning everybody, so he does stop the flow of water. But Dante does drop a hint that he might be involved in this with the water, poisoning people from the inside, maybe to gain some points with Alpha. Later on, Dante is he's keeping a close tab on Sadiq, making sure he's okay. He's the inside man. He is the Whisperer. So he gives him that pep talk and then does the tongue click, and Sadiq knows it was you. Everything comes together at that point. Sadiq is looking for something. Dante overpowers him, kills him. Sad news. When we see it play out, it is going to be devastating for our group. Absolutely devastating. But then beyond that, there's this cat and mouse game with Lydia, the captured Whisperer. So the captured Whisperer basically says, Alpha killed her own daughter. That's why we love her so much. So Carol gets a plan to show Lydia to the captured Whisperer to prove that Alpha is a joke. But Dante poisons the Whisperer so he can't see it and can't say anything incriminating. Carol and Lydia are out and about when Gamma and Aaron are interacting. Gamma sees Lydia and freaks out. Alpha lied to them and betrayed them. So now you got Gamma knowing Alpha's a fraud, but you got Lydia running away thinking Carol is a user just like her mother. So now we got Gamma, we don't know where she stands, and Lydia, we don't know where she stands. Is it possible they flip-flop? More to talk about on that tonight. So Will the Bill. So way back, that was Dante in the mask. We were looking at the eyes. I don't know if that's confirmed, Will, but I feel like it is him because we never got the answer to that, and we've always wondered who it was, and we knew there was going to be this epic reveal of somebody being in on the inside. So I do think that that is Dante. I think we can bring some closure to that. But here's the deal, guys. Dante is still there. Dante is still in the midst of Alexandria. Now, somebody's probably going to find out, but the question is, how many more people can Dante poison and kill next week before it's revealed what he did? Ben Stevenson, we're always watching, makes more sense now. Hey, it does, and I know we talked about this last night because let me say this to everybody that was here last night. I want to thank all of you guys because we got some great chat and some great theories out there. There were people that were saying Dante is a whisperer. There were people out there saying Siddiq is a traitor. There were people out there saying Siddiq was forced to watch. I mean, all of these things, we really got some good funneling, some good chat, some good breakdown. I think the way it goes down and how it went down and the Dante's poisoning people from the inside, that's a little bit tricky. But JB, nobody finds the body of Siddiq because it happens at the end of the episode. And if you think about this, look, Alpha has made Dante hold his eyes open while they were doing the killing, and then sends Dante in to infiltrate Alexandria to keep an eye on him, to torture him even more. And then she's got the border, and then she's got, oh my God, then she's got the water going on, and then she's got the tree. I mean, she is working so many freaking angles here. How many people are now going to put Alpha up there near the top of greatest Walking Dead villains of all time? Just got to know. This is some twisted stuff, everybody. Absolutely bizarre, without a doubt, craziness. All right, everybody, we are going to wind this stream down. I know there's a lot of processing, a lot of stuff going on with everybody. We're going to keep it short so people can watch the playback, get the spoilers. We will be doing a follow-up stream tonight at 9:30. It is going to be our bold predictions. We're going to take what we know about the spoiler. We're going to incorporate into what we think is going to go down next week. So you're going to want to participate in that. If you guys are watching the playback, obviously you know the spoilers, but I will put a warning on there that it is going to have some of the spoiler information tonight. So we're going to funnel it to a whole different level. Now that we know that Dante's a whisperer, now that we know that he's the one that killed Siddiq, now we know exactly what happened, we can take all those facts, tie it into the Comic-Con teaser, and then we can kind of propel a pretty good theory for what we think is going to happen next week. So over the next 2 nights, we're going to be doing just some amazing breakdowns. Hopefully all of you guys are here. All of you guys are involved. It'll be open chat. Want to get your thoughts. Want to get your ideas on that. Thank you so much. Once again, I do want to credit Spoiling Dead's fan page. These spoilers are courtesy of Spoiling Dead's fan page, not mine. I am proud to say that a lot of things that we talked about did actually come to fruition in these spoilers. So there's some nice confirmation for many of you. Great job to the 999 Army CSI department for talking about this for the last, really, 2 months to break these things down. So appreciate your involvement, and hopefully we're going to be really, I do think this is going to escalate the Whisperer War to make Alpha work a little bit faster, and also to make the group come up with a plan. All right, everybody, give this video a thumbs up if you like spoilers, if you like getting together and talking about our show. Also, do want to remind you guys, Friday night, we're going to be doing Freestyle Friday with a little bit of Play Dead Live. Hopefully you guys are ready for some real-life role-playing interaction. It will happen right before your very eyes, and you guys can be involved with that. Join us for that Friday night. So tonight, 9:30. Tomorrow night, we'll do 2 streams and then Freestyle Friday. Thanks, everybody. If you like what we do, give this video a thumbs up, and I will see everybody. Thank you so much for that super chat, Dead on Leprechaun. And also, you guys, check out the super stickers down below as well. We're probably going to be using some of those in the next couple streams. Have a good evening. See everybody at 9:30. Peace.